In today's episode, we will be going over some of the best highlights from the matchup between G2 and PSG during the lower bracket round 2 of MSI 2024. Now, without further ado, let's dive straight into the action.
And Caps did miss the cannon there. So, who's really winning is the question. Flash for cannon.
The question is if you punish the flash. It always is, right? If Maple's able just to stay safe for the next 5 minutes and just continue farming up, then the flash not punished. Flash hook, though, going in. Seismic shot back onto Mickey as he was waiting in the bush, but he was pounced on by PSG. The collapse continues. Maple gets the kill. Who's really winning, Betty? I think it's PSG.
Which in practice, I know from experience, does not necessarily lead to the most interesting games.
But it's also an elimination game, right? Pathmaker back here. Broken Blade tanking up the tower into the all-out. Goes into the cell division. Oh, it's a Barmy stiff again. Azure punishes BB. And he'll get the kill before BB gets back to life.
A massive misplay from Broken Blade. He tries to proxy the wave, but Aji just manages it perfectly, uses all the CC at his disposal to keep Broken Blade underneath the tower, and he gets another kill for PSG. Overstacking of PSG and their members, and I think they're in a good position to threaten the dive.
G2 trying to react. Woody going in with a Hex Splash. There's the TP all out under the towers. Azure tanks it up. Dash away from the seismic shove. Elastic slingshot in by Broken Blade. Gets hooked. Mickey flashes across the wall and Hans Thomas starts to put the damage down onto Junja. Let's bounce on the backline as Azure falls low, as does Woody. Cataclysm with the follow-up. Cease and desist going in as Hans Summer is isolated from the rest of G2. Betty was yeeted away, but 2 kills so far over to G2. Only 1 in response by PSG. The dash back in. Mickey goes forward. Junja falling low, but Betty is raining down arrow after arrow on top of them. Double knock-up. Yike falls. Junja and Betty Caps dancing on them. Betty goes into the fog of war, though. Junja able to escape for the moment. Betty tries to trade, can't get it. Caps with a double. Junja's going to dash across this wall, but the blast going from Caps. Will Junja get away? He has the enhanced recall. Caps jumps in and down goes Junja.
All the members of PSG, continuous flag and drags. Broken Blade with the flash order there towards the start of the fight to set it all up.
Mickey stepping forward, puts the set plus presence down. Yike across the wall, a possibility, but with the depth charge, Mickey's just locked up, doesn't get an opportunity to move, and Mickey caught out by PSG.
Massive with the dragon spawning in 15 seconds. PSG have put themselves in a great spot. Weaver's wall.
And somewhere on the wrong side of it. Yike trying to join up. Caps in the top lane, does have the TP. Broken Blade's pushing out bot. Riftel's going to charge in. That will be the mid-tier 1 falling. PSG take it. The Drake next on the menu for them would be their 3rd of the game.
Aji is top though, and he doesn't have TP, whereas Caps does. But PSG still going to go for this.
Mickey's back up. Caps seen by PSG. They know
Caps
he's in the top
TP.
lane. Now he goes out of vision. Can TP. You can see Azure trying to chase him out, making sure he can't TP.
PSG, they still want to fight.
First one going in. Fate's call out. Yike flashes forward into the classic and into the blast cone as PSG scatter to the winds. Caps trying to join up. TP behind as Yike is low. They engage with the Vault Breaker, followed up by Junja. Stretching strike, pulls in 2. Yike able to escape, but Azure's now on the back line, and Caps is separated from his team. Azure dancing in. The Cell Division from Broken Blade will buy him another second. Caps on into the back of the pit. Cell Division going low as Maple will take out Broken Blade. Yike next to ball, and now it's all on Hans Summer and Caps and Mickey. Junja locked against the wall, but it's 2 as PSG just outplay G2 in the team fight. They find 4, only Caps remains standing, but how long will he stand for? He tries to trade back, and Maple sends him into the dirt. He gets 1 in exchange.
And just like that, PSG respond with an ace of their own. The gold largely remains even, but you're getting to see the impact that Betty can have in these fights. Aja caught off on a side lane.
PSG might set up around the Baron for this. Azure will fall. Broken Blade does still have the TP, as does Cap, so PSG realize all you can get really is vision because you know you're overloading this side of the map. They're trying to delay Azure here so that they have better tempo on the resets. If they can delay him for long enough, maybe they can set up around the Baron themselves. Caps will take him in the end. Might actually just be a tier 2 push in the bot lane, but with the minion wave cleared out, it's a bit harder for G2 to do that. There's the first TP, there's the second. G2 are going tournament of his life for this PSG lineup. Against BOG, he was so consistently the carry. We saw the team damage in the last fight as well. Baron down to 6,000. Junja trying to get in, has the flash, has the smite. Keep his verdict blocked as he dives onto the backline. Junja's off towards the side, he flashes in. The Baron down to 600, and Junja gets it! G2 unable to secure the objective, And will they be able to win the fight? Can PSG continue to advance? G2 already lost one. The Weavers one on the backline will take out Caps as well. And now it's all on Hans Summer to do everything he can. Maple flashing forward. Hans Summer, can you dance around Maple well enough? Broken Blade will have the elastic slingshot. He'll jump in. It's a triple for Maple so far. Holding the elastic slingshot from G2 will back away. Aji's rejoined the fight. Broken Blade forced away. Hans Summer has the flash. And in the end, it's a Baron for PSG in a 3-for-3 fight.
Now with control over mid and cleansing out of this vision, they're setting themselves up nicely for the fourth drag.
Caps spotted an award, BB2, seismic shove back. Caps might look for the backline. Maple, a key target as well, alongside Betty. Caps jumps across the wall. There's the depth charge. Keeper's verdict knocks out Maple, and now BB begins to party, bouncing in. Ginger locked into the wall, and it's all on Betty. Weaver's wall back in, separates the team. Elastic shot forward as Azure is caught all unawares by G2. They find 3, they're looking for more. As Caps dives in, he wants to make it 4. This Sarah's enough to keep Maple alive for a second, but there's the 4th. Only Betty survives, and Caps is having none of that. Knock back, boom, boom, boom. It's 5-0.
And a clean ace out of seemingly nowhere. PSG, they get the Baron, they get a good setup, but they overstep in the enemy jungle. They seem split on the call. Maple wasn't there when the fight started, their biggest damage dealer thus far.
Meanwhile, that top wave is just bleeding into the tower.
Knight just trying to trade here. Flash, step up, presence, stop the boat breaker. Broken Blade coming in from the side as well. It's the 2 tanks. The G2 dive on. They all dodge the chain of corruption. And a great keeper's verdict will knock Woody out of the fight. Azure pulls Yike across the wall, but the chase continues as Caps begins to rain hell. A double for him. Stretching strike brings 2 in. And Caps is ready. Put him in the bouncy castle. It's a triple for Caps. He's gonna make it 4. A quadra. Can Caps cement himself on this series with a penta? He needs one more. Maple won't give it to him. Pentas are earned, not given, but G2 win the fight. G2 though looking for a catch in the sideline here already. Maple's down. Ginger trying to dance around it. Woody there as well. Azure going in. Hans Summer flashes away from the Pathmaker. Broken Blade on the backline. Ginger still down to half HP, but Caps is ready to join the party. Plays out the minion wave. PSG lost 1. Looks like they were the ones initiating the play to dive in. Elastic slingshot into the knockback. Woody able to buffer away with the Q. But Caps continues to chase. And all it takes is a couple of autos with a bomb on your head for Caps to take you out. Azure brings Broken Blade back. He has the cell division though. As Caps walks through the tower, it's another for Caps. He's legendary. Not only in the LEC, but here on the MSI stage.
G2 wipe PSG once again. They have the Nexus in their eyes, and they're looking to take game 1.
All comes back to that fight at Dragon where G2, as we pointed out, had the realization, just hit the front line, hit whoever's available. We have enough damage, we can chew through them. And G2 take game number 1.
Make the life very miserable for a Kalista 2. I ultimately like what PSG have. They have very similar front to back. Their front line isn't as strong, but they have a bit more backline threat now. Once the Vise...
smash, Mickey takes about half his health. Ginger walks around the Sentinel, going up towards that Scuttle Crab. Looks like Yike was spotted as he came across here. Goes on to Ginger. Mickey looking for the dash into the wall. Ginger flashes away. Bolt breaker. Mickey flashes it. Heroic charge into the wall. But where's Hans Summer? Not here with his team right now. Caps moving down. Maple here to join the play. It's a 3v3. As Betty tries to get away, Yike jumps across, Hans Summer takes 1. Maple already down to 200 HP as G2 continue to collapse. Woody has flash, can he get away? Dredgeline, Riptide, should be able to flash if Caps jumps in, he does exactly that. Caps can't jump back, seismic shove going wide. Maple, the chains still connect, Yike not going in, but Woody looks for the re-engage. And Woody, what are you doing? Buzz isn't here to help you. Maple is tapped as well. Tremendous play by G2.
A disaster for PSG.
Broken Blade in the top lane, but Yike was there to answer. Mickey looking for Woody here. He's at 300 HP, puts the steadfast presence down, gets the knock into the wall. Hans Summer will rend 1, but Betty has the mana and the health advantage here as Hans Summer has to dance away. Does have double summoners. Should be able to burn the flash here if Betty charges up the arrow. Hans Summer flashes it.
Now slowly starting to fall away again, and it was one of the few, I think, moments, or opportunities rather, for PSG.
Caps look for Maple. First chain lands. Maple takes half his health. He's 2 levels down as well. He's in such a hole right now.
One of the... oh, hang on a second. Caps
would have to jump back onto the unraveled earth here. He does so. Ginger finds him, but Yike's already got 1. Caps dashes back. Will be able to escape from the clutches of Ginger, and Ginger now needs to try and escape. Bolt breaker! Oh! Is that Civ HD? I see on my screen. You just can't touch him. Caps gets another.
Caps and Yike, the mid-jungle 2v2 coming out on top. Betty uses the ult.
And Summer has the face call here. Mickey might just flash, hammer, shots into the wall. The cleanse will be enough, but not as he tries to get away at the end. Woody coming in, stops the keeper's verdict, but Woody, in a moment, will realize there's no minion wave here for him to defend. He will... Well, he's not going to allow Mickey to walk. Oh, Mickey. Mickey tanked the tower. The Ignite will tick on him. Flash. Oh, Mickey. He didn't need to hit Woody. What are you doing, Mickey?
I don't know.
Okay, maybe he thought he was already in range for Fate's call.
G2 obviously find themselves in a commanding position, a 4K gold lead, largely off the back of this mid-jungle duo. Yike making his presence known in the enemy jungle. Mickey at his back. There's Caps.
Woody trying to get away. They jump onto Maple instead, and Mickey's here once again. Caps with the chase. Destiny. Where you going? Maple across the wall, but the gold card will follow you. Broken Blade locks it in.
This game is rapidly deteriorating for PSG. They're losing full control. They're no longer able to walk into their own jungle. And the moment, especially against the Fet LeBlanc, this mid lane turret falls, you're going to be in so much trouble as Woody just dies.
Just decomposes in front of our very eyes. Chain of Corruption did land onto Yike. Ginger coming in as well, but you can't ball Breaker out of the steadfast presence. And the Cataclysm is the death knell for PSG. 12 kills to 3, a 6,000 gold lead for G2.
I mean, Caps is just a menace. We talked about how in game one he was playing with so much more confidence. You give him the LeBlanc, one of his most comfortable champions, and he is just running circles around PSG.
Azure looking for something up in the top lane, has the Triforce complete. The gold card locked by BB, will only buy him a second. Yike is here, BB flashes the wall, and Yike dashes away. Importantly though, Azure able to stop the Rift Tower from going down. G2 had to react to defend their top lane. Hansama getting chased out by Maple here, the Weaver's Wall. Available for
They've just been working so closely with Caps, every opportunity roaming towards mid and just punishing anything that PSG tries to do. The saving grace for PSG is Aja.
BB, no flash, gold card locked. Yike coming in as well. Ginger tanking that turret. Azure flashes away as BB will fall, but Ginger pays for the dive with his life. Hansama on the chase. Fate's call, possible, but unlikely to chase any further here as Azure has a half HP tower to retreat to.
Unfortunately, thanks to Junja's sacrifice,
Aja.
oh boy.
Nope, he doesn't.
Can you kill him? Counter-Strike used early. Maybe you can. Knocked into the wall. He's running. And he smashes Azure.
Caps is a Crypt Bloom.
The risk for G2 is they are playing undermanned fights at times. Azure has TP in. He's going to go to the mid lane. Hansama still in the top lane, but the keeper's verdict makes this a 4v3. Maple falls first, Betty short to follow, BB gets the double, Dredgeline away by Woody, but that anchor is sending him to the depths. Hansama, all the meanwhile, he's doing damage to turrets.
It's as you say, Chronicler, PSG, no matter what they do on the map, they're just getting stopped by the aggression. They weren't as strong as G2. So they said, you know, we'll remove some of their front-to-back elements and we'll make it easier for us to team fight. And then G2 said, how about we don't team fight? How about we just fight you 2v2, 3v3? And Caps has become a very serious problem.
Counter-Strike, heroic charge into the wall, Counter-Strike dodged, and Azure, yeah, that's not blue skies for the top laner from PSG.
We know about G2 coming into this series, they put a lot of pressure on themselves. They remember what happened at last year's Worlds. They knew that they were heavy favorites coming into that series against NRG, and they fell short. They didn't want that blunder to happen again. And coming into today, they wanted to treat this opponent just like they treated T1. And the patience and execution that they currently demonstrate show that level of reservation. They're not diving tier 3 towers. They're not getting overzealous that we often see.
Keep going, Benny. Keep going. Keep building it up.
Curse is what you're
Be prepared for the largest caster curse the world has ever seen.
Oh, come on.
It's G2 casting it's Betty casting a G2 game.
13k gold up.
Surely.
Atlas has been on the wrong end of these before.
He has.
And the inhibitor getting pushed here. Flash in, sees an assist. Caps flashes away from the chain of corruption. Azure trying to dive on the back line. But look at the might. PSG just surrounded by the oncoming hordes of G2's minions. Broken Blade now on the inhibitor tower in the mid lane as they're looking for more. Caps continues to dash in. Betty takes half his health without the chains even landing. And Woody takes more as the Cataclysm finds an easy avenue for G2 to lock up PSG. And they were taking their time, but now they're not, Betty. 21 minutes into the game, G2 will rip through PSG and go one game away from making it into the next round of MSI.
An absolute shellacking of PSG here. And we talked about it, the draft, you gotta completely switch it up. You can go blue side, you can bend the Poppy. Something needs to change.
The preferred Poppy top, and then something like a Renata or something.
No, come on, man, this is fun.
Here's the thing, though. If it does work, his Razor Beaks, but now Mickey's going to knock him away. Broken Blade ghosting in as well, looking for the condemn before Azure gets to the safety of his tower. There it is, Pathmaker. Well played by Azure, but can he survive the continued dive? Tanking up his Hun. Summer takes a couple of shots. Azure ignited, and Azure falls for first blood.
The problem, and one of the biggest differences, is that Yike pathed in a way as Caps.
Azure's going to be able to get the Pathmaker into the wall. Caps still has the flash, tries to turn it back around. It's ringing around the rosies. Caps flashes again! Oh, how do you do that twice? If I had a penny for every time, I'd have two. It's not much, but it's damn surprising as Caps outplays the 2v1. Now they can look to catch this wave as it crashes under their tower, and then after the push, if Ginger still stays around, they can try and reset towards bottom lane. Azure no TP as the engage happens from Mickey, and Woody falls low. Mickey down to half HP. Astral Flight in from the side. Counter strike on Ginger will get the stun. Hansama flashing over the wall as well. Trying to take out Betty. Out of vision now though. Stars descend, doesn't hit anyone. Ginger down to 300 HP. Hansama takes the kill on Betty. Ginger having to dash and flash away.
Azure, of course, still behind, only level 7, as they look for another dive.
Good pathmaker from Azure. Mickey immediately has to flash away. Chain of Corruption going down as well. The piercing arrow into the hail from Hansama is enough. The dive surprising, but the result good for G2.
It turned a win, which is Mickey's flash being forced, into a loss, and Hansama getting further ahead.
Azure TP'd in behind here, popping the ghost as well. Hansama trying to get away, doesn't have the flash. Heal up for him though.
The Rosies.
He's running!
Where we go? Where we go? Hansama. Oh, he's going back! Which way? And Tover's 3. Hansama's gonna die to the tower. Woody, the heal, Hansama, can he execute? No, all out. Shut down.
If he hadn't healed, oh, it's a close one. Because if he hadn't healed, he would have died earlier. I feel like PSG should feel confident to try and take this fight. And
Azure's moving down as well.
G2 going to respect it. No TP on Broken Blade, of course.
G2
should be there.
Keeper's Verdict looking for Woody. Knocks him away, the equalizer there. Counter strike into Smite. Yike takes it. Mickey walking away. Yike still has the leap strike. Ginger has Audacious Charge, but I'm not sure you want to charge any further or any more audaciously as Betty gets onto Mickey, knocked into the wall, the cleanse away. Mickey dodges away from the equalizer, but his life should be forfeit as Woody flashes. Electro Harpoon into the Arcane Comet is enough. Actually, it wasn't even Betty backing. It's Betty in the bot lane. Hex Flash over to avoid the control ward.
There was no pings. I don't actually think they know Betty.
Betty trying to retreat. Hansama looking for the fight as Betty has no way out apart from flash. The piercing arrow still pierces through his heart as G2 find their fifth.
Yike though in the vicinity. Broken Blade's still very weak though, yet to complete his first item. Can Yike steal this one away?
Leap strike, counter strike, Smite would have been a possibility. Starts with the counter strike. Woody coming in from the side, but the leap strike always available for Yike here. No real threat. Riftail picked up by Ginger as PSG. Even gold score. Mickey jumping in. Betty, no flash, Chain of Corruption. Ginger on the flank though. Yike diving in onto Betty, who's forced low. Yike flashes, gets it. Equalizer on the backline. Woody falling so low as well as he managed to pick up one counter kill. TP in by Maple. Caps returning the favor. Ginger goes in with a Crescent Guard and Mickey knocks him back into his team. He needs to be inside that ring to do the damage. And Cash just waits for it to expire. And the arrow right through. PSG by G2.
Oh, Hans! That's the type of target practice that you dream of. 1 for 2 with the arrow. They're unable to get onto one of the most fed.
Azure looking for this mid lane once again. Flash available for Hansama. Yike the only one on G2 without one as Yike goes in, the knock into the wall, the counter strike. You can bring down the heavens, but it's only Yike who falls. 1 for 1 so far, but Jungler's going down as Azure tries to get in, rooted with the Chain of Corruption. G2 now starting to retreat. Broken Blade still in the top lane. No TP, remember, so it's always going to be a numbers disadvantage for G2.
When it comes to these skirmishes, Woody also doesn't have the equalizer available. I wouldn't be surprised if PSG decides to let this one go, particularly with Mickey standing guard. Maybe a catch on Caps.
Caps has flash, has the shockwave, pulls 2. The counter-strike follow-up. The falling star not going to be enough as Yike falls low. Caps actually separated from the team. It was the singularity, but once again it's Mickey going in. Maple flashing away. Caps Hansama. And Mickey trying to fight this one out. TP burned as Broken Blade works his way down. Paths back towards mid, might just be looking to push out that wave.
G2 should just buy time, wait for Broken Blade to push in the mid wave. Betty.
Mickey has flash, a couple of spears go into his back, the root with the chain of corruption, Ginger taken out by Hansama. Mickey with the steadfast presence, the cleanse not enough to keep Betty alive as Hansama takes down a double. Breath of life, breath of death for Mickey. Azure going in with the all-out, Hansama still alive! As Camp secures the kill. Breath of life in with the astral flight. Hansama heals, but Maple's in the wrong side of the woods. As Broken Blade will chase him down the hill, and arrows for the slow. Broken Blade takes out his man.
And Broken Blade shows up, takes his last hit and said, guys, you didn't even need me.
Don't have time, we're back in the action.
Okay, so Maple rode in the Rift Herald, and Caps and Mickey are just here waiting for him. Keep his verdict up. Caps down to half HP. Maple trying to trade back, but I don't think you win these. The channel stopped with the heroic charges. Yike fights on the top side. TP in by Azure, but he's going to be met by G2. It's actually Capsite on the TP as Azure's already fallen. PSG wiped away again. Betty trying to hibbity-hobbity, but he just can't find anything.
And this is right in front of Nash. That's going to be the Baron gone. The take with that Vayne is going to be quite rapid. And Betty alone can't do anything here.
Two sides of the map. G2 find advantages. PSG, they're trying to force a skirmish on the top side, knowing that Caps and Mickey are bot, but Yike just comes up clutch. The Baron now secured. G2 need to escape, and PSG's tournament lives are looking rather dire.
Numbers advantage doesn't matter as...
Azure is on his lonesome down here, and Yike and Broken Blade will happily take the kill. G2 find another. Drake up in a minute 11 would be their third of the game, and you see how quickly the game has exploded away from PSG.
Really make a name for themselves, and I think that many people are going to respect them. Expectations are that we'll see them at this year's World Championship, regardless of the outcome of this game, as G2 continue their assault onto the base and look to round out this series 3-0.
Last inhibitor up.
Mickey? Okay.
He had the Edge of Night there for a bit of shielding, which meant that the engage...
Oh, I understand. Oh, Betty.
TP behind, TP behind, Azure. Last chance saloon
All or
for
nothing.
PSG. Can they find it? All or nothing, you say. The skies descend, the equalizer only onto Caps. Pathmaker, Caps flashes away. And now the counter punch is landing. Broken Blade chases Ginger out. Already we see Azure fall on the front line, and Broken Blade has the flank against 3. Can he do it? The final hour dashes away. Woody flashing in, and Mickey finds his man. Maple has to flash the wall. It's a double for BB. Maple falls as well, and only Betty are left alive for PSG. Not for much longer. Good cleanse, though. Who will survive to watch his Nexus fall. There were doubts about G2 coming into MSI, but here they breathe life into EU as they make it to a matchup against top Esports.
And PSG, they've shown us some incredible things in this tournament. Fantastic comebacks, great team fighting, and some amazing star performances. But today, it was not enough against G2 Esports.
PSG, game one, everything looked fine. We're able to hold on for a large amount of time, but I think that game 2, that was the backbreaker. Running back the same draft, and from that point on, you're sitting at an 0-2 deficit, and it makes everything so much harder. G2, gonna be very happy. This is the type of win you want going in as you make your run into the tournament.
Going into a matchup against top Esports, PSG take a bow though. And remember, made it through playoffs, took down FlyQuest in very convincing fashion, then almost took down BLG, who were widely seen as one of the favorites for the tournament alongside Gen G. They were just one game away from not even being in this match. G2 the same, obviously, but I think if I'm a PCS fan, I'm very happy with how PSG have played.
It's of course a little bittersweet because of how close you were, but I definitely agree. An impressive performance, and I'm hoping to see them at this year's World Championship with that same level of play.
Totally agree with you, Betty. We're going to hand it over to the analyst test to break down that series. Take it away.
Dominant series from G2. I liked everything I saw
Now,
today. I
that was
also
very
love the
close.
fact that for once we did not get a content game.
Maybe at least one. Maybe you could have gotten one.
Yeah,
I mean, they
first
were
one.
on the edge of content in Game 3.
Yeah,
but they
it's
really
like, I'm just kidding.
Exactly. Mickey's Poppy is so good. That's a series-changing pick if teams are going to let him play it.
Yeah, I really like the adaptation this time around, going for the Rumble, but man, like, the Poppy was really effective. And even in this game, just stopping the Aurelion Soul from even getting away. Mickey had an incredible series. Caps, of course, same to him.
Yeah.
In fact, that's the player of the series. So.
I mean, who else? Honestly. A happy Caps is a Caps that plays well, and for me, he had a great, not tournament as a whole, but this series was a statement series from Caps.
I really think it was. Look at that, 23 kills, only 2 deaths. So he's part of 50, only dies twice. Carried the late game team fights and even outplayed the early game ganks, and where this series really was decided in that game 1, because I feel like that was where PSG had the most confidence and G2 was actually the most nervy until Caps kind of took over, and after that everyone else on G2 just backed him up.
Yeah, and talking about outplaying early ganks, his play against the Aurelion Sol, he did it again. He did it before to Faker, where he was running circles around Aurelion Sol so he wouldn't hit him.
So
and this time around, it was a 1v2. He got the kill and flashed over the Raptors wall. This was the play.
Here it is. Like, who does this? Who doesn't just flash away?
Wow.
He's just so ballsy that he knows he's going to get the kill. That was the sickest solo kill of the event so far.
Playing to the limits. And he's happy. This is the face of a man who will murder you in the next series, because the next series, guys, is gonna be a tough one. I want to say we're gonna take a look at the lower bracket to see where we leave things after this one. Top Esports is the next opponent for G2.
Yeah, I mean, not easy. I don't feel like they're going to have an easy opponent for the rest of MSI. They took care of business here where they needed to win their first lower bracket game. But the biggest thing is going to be what Jackie Love and Mako do to G2's team. I'd say Hans and Mickey had a really, really good series. But here's a more important salient point here. Like, G2 is actually so good. I know a 29% win rate is not as much as G2 would like, but it's a hell of a lot more than 8. And that's what everybody else from NAEU has been able to muster.
I like these odds. Don't know for you guys.
Especially after that Game 5 series that they had versus T1, and you compare the TES series versus Gen G, like, I would say kudos for TES for even making that series close, because they almost went the distance to be able to get the reverse sweep. So don't sleep on them. But if you cast your mind back to TES versus Fnatic, you know, I think Cream is somebody that actually has had really like a waffling tournament thus far, and he's going to be going up against Caps. That is the one matchup that I have for G2.
Do you remember, Jad, what we said during the draw show? With G2 Esports, would rather face off against T1 than Top Esports. I guess we're going to see that matchup after all.
We
and
did
I,
ask that
yeah,
question.
and I do.
And they get both.
And they get both. They get both in the end. But at the end, I mean, if you want to be the champion, you have to play all the teams. But with the progress that they've made, I want to see how confident they are now facing up against them.
Yeah, I think they should be a lot more confident because of how well they played T1 and how dominant they were today.
And I think TES should be pissed off of just off the last series. They feel like they could have had it, and I think 369 and Cream would have wanted better performances. So I think they're going to be coming in fired up. That's going to be a great series.
Obviously, we have to say goodbye to PSG here. But as the caster said, great showing from them. We'll see if we can see them later at Worlds. But
欢迎来到我们的赛后采访，我是主持人于双。我们邀请到的是 G2 的 AD 选手 Handsome 来接受我们的赛后采访。首先有请他和大家打一声招呼。Would you like to say hello to all the audience here?
你好，我是 Handsome。
现场的粉丝们也是给到了热情的回应，也要恭喜他们今天干净利落的3比0拿下了本场比赛的胜利。那同时我们知道呢 ，G2 其实来到成都已经有一段时间了，甚至是在入围赛之前就已经来到这里集训了。想要知道他们对这边的生活还习不习惯 ？So we all know that G2 has been in Chengdu for a while, even before the playing stage. So do you get used to the life here in Chengdu?
Well, it's pretty nice. I didn't really get to visit many places because we are non-stop practicing. We really want to do well this tournament. But there was one time when we went to see the pandas with the content team, and that was pretty nice. We saw a bunch of things about the culture, and I liked it. Very nice.
其实我觉得来到这边生活还是非常棒的，但是因为我们一直专注于训练，所以我们可能并没有时间去看到更多的成都这边的文化。但是有一次我们去体验了这边的 熊猫园，所以说看到了熊猫，也体验到了这边本地的文化之后，也觉得非常的不错。那同样的，我们下一个问题想要问到韩夏曼的是，今天他们其实是连续3局选到了波比辅助，想知道他为什么觉得波比辅助这么的强，同时他怎么样去评价 Mickey 的波比辅助？So you went for the Poppy support 3 games in a row. So how do you think about the Poppy support? Why is the Poppy so strong? And how would you like to rate Mickey's performance today?
I think the Poppy support mainly. Well, I think Mickey plays it very well. He used to play a lot of Poppy in the past, and it seems that it fits. It's like it works well in our games, and I think that his performance is pretty good.
给到了他的辅助 Mickey 的波比辅助非常高的评价，因为 Mickey 之前就是一个波比的一个使用者，所以说他在之前就有个非常好的技能了，因此当波比辅助非常适合他们阵容的时候，其实拿出来就是非常不错的一个选择了，同时也觉得他打得非常的好。那接下来想要问到的是，因为他们其实在最近的比赛当中也有用到了换线的战术，但早在他们的春季赛决赛当中，他们就熟练的使用了这个技术，并且在当时的舞台采访当中，他们的辅助选手 Mickey 也提到换线战术的灵感是来自于 LPL。那其实今天非常巧的是，在 LPL 当中首个拿出这个换线战术的选手也正在解说他们的这一场比赛，所以在舞台上他有没有什么想对卓说的话呢？So we know that you like always use the lane swap strategy back in the spring split, and even in the spring split final interview, Mickey mentioned that you learned from the LPL of the lane swap strategy. And the one who brought the strategy back into LPL this split, like in the very beginning, is Draw, and then he's also casting in today's casting desk. Yeah, so is there anything that you wanted to say to him on the stage?
Well, thanks to the person that brought it, NIP. We could utilize it, like try it in Europe, and we ended up winning the finals mainly doing this strat. And yeah, thanks to him.
他也是表示了他的由衷的感谢，非常感谢 NIP 的卓选手将这一个战术带到了比赛的赛场，让他们能够感受到这一个灵感。那同时呢，他们在欧洲使用了之后，也是慢慢的熟悉和掌握，并且呢，现在这个版本也非常的适合，所以他要感谢卓哥。那接下来下一个问题，因为其实他们下一个对手呢是滔博，他和滔博的 AD 选手 Jackie Love 都是德莱文的非常厉害的选手，所以想问问他对于下一场比赛是怎么样看的。So you're going to play up against Top Esports next. And both you and the Jackie Love, the AD carry from the Top Esports, is known for driven pick. So what's your expectation?
It's gonna be the first time I play against him on stage, I believe, and I would say may the better driven wins.
Oh, so you are the better, or may?
I would say yes.
OK， 那他说呢，他其实从未在舞台上和 Jackie Love 选手交手过，他希望更好的德莱文选手是可以能够获得下一场比赛的胜利的。那同样的，我也追问他说，那你觉不觉得你会是更强的德莱文选手呢？他说，是的，我觉得我是更好的德莱文选手。就让我们一同期待他们跟滔博的下一场对决，究竟会是谁获得胜利？那同样的，今天赛后采访呢，到此也要先告一段落了。我们接下来一同期待下一场精彩的 BO5 对决。
These were some of the best highlights from the 2024 MSI lower bracket round 2 matchup between G2 and PSG. Which moment was your favorite? Let me know in the comment section below. This is OP, and I'll see you tomorrow. Take care.